I was on the verge of tears, well, somewhat. So in this video, we'll be basically talking about my first experience drawing blood or taking blood, and you'll also be seeing the actual demonstration of me doing it as well. But first, let me share my experience and then we'll get into the demonstration. So last week Friday, one of my lecturers organized the phlebotomy clinic where we were basically doing venipuncture, where you basically puncture the vein, venipuncture, sorry, you basically puncture the vein to draw blood. And for me, I know that I don't get things as fast as other people sometimes. So sometimes I'm a bit on the slower side. Especially in regards to like practicals. So I've had this experience before, like where I didn't get things as quickly when I was learning how to do the manual blood pressure. But yeah, practice makes perfect, and if you're doing something for the first time, it's okay if you don't get it right the first time. And it also happened again when I was at another workshop. That one was an IV workshop where they were basically intravenous workshop. That's what IV means, intravenous, where they were basically teaching us to puncture the vein, but this time not to take blood, but so that something else will be attached to that thing that you're using to pierce the vein, so like fluid or whatever can get into the body. So here's how the experience went. So basically for the clinic, we had mannequins that we could practice on. So the mannequins actually had like artificial veins that had like something representing the blood running to the veins, so we could practice on mannequins, and we were also practicing on each other. So someone would take somebody else's blood, and yeah, and that's how it went. So I practiced a few times on the mannequin. I got it on the mannequin. Yeah, I had some guidance, and the first time I tried with a human, it was not successful. And the second time I tried with a human again, it was not successful. And by that time, the time for the workshop was already up. But thank God for good teachers, because my lecturer, she really wanted me to get it right. So she was there basically rooting for me. But yeah, we didn't have enough time, so she didn't get to see me complete it. And then after the workshop ended, we had a next event. So the workshop had to wrap up because we were already past time. So I was feeling down about it because I didn't get it right. So one of my friends who I told that, I didn't get it, he said to me that let's try it again. And mind you guys, the workshop time was up and we had the next event, and basically time was spent. So he said let's try it again. Thank God for good friends. Give him a clap. And thank God for good friends in this case too, because one of my other friends, I already practiced on him and I did not get it right. So he allowed me to practice on him again, and that time with guidance from my friends, I got it right that time. So that's what you'll see in the video. So basically I was somewhat on the verge of tears because I guess I was somewhat overwhelmed that I wasn't getting it, and I wasn't getting it. But guys, it's okay to not get things as quickly, especially if you're doing it for the first time. And there's something that says something like it's better to try and fail than not to try at all, because when you fail, it shows that you have tried. So it's better to try than not to have tried at all from the beginning. So I was feeling overwhelmed, I guess. I was on the verge of tears, but I told myself that you can't cry in a public. And the persons are watching who don't speak Patois, I'm basically telling myself you can't cry in public. Don't let anybody see you cry. Because I had this thing in high school where whenever I was overwhelmed, I'm a bit of a sensitive person, not as much as I used to be. So when I was overwhelmed in school, I would cry. So I said to myself, don't cry, don't do it. Yeah, and that's it. So we can get into the whole video now.
First things first is to tie the tourniquet above the area that you're going to take blood. I'm going to take a little below there, And because the tourniquet causes an increased pressure that helps you to be able to better see the veins, even though his were evident. You identify the vein, you feel it to make sure it's nice, bouncy and juicy. And we have the needle and the syringe. We have to attach the needle to the syringe, and we're going to prepare to wipe. Wipe in one direction, don't go up, down and all over. You must be wearing gloves. I didn't have any. The workshop ended and there were no more gloves remaining. When you're inserting the needle, do so at a 30-degree angle. The needle has a hole, so when you have to find that hole, because when you're inserting, when you're looking down, you should be seeing that hole as you insert. Some veins are straight, some are curved in different directions. Insert at a 30-degree angle in the direction that the vein is curving. You might insert and have to do some redirecting of the needle, because maybe you're a little above the vein and you have to go a little bit deeper, or but sometimes you have to do some redirecting. You might have some backflow, which is when a little blood pulls into the syringe, which is a good sign when you're doing the venipuncture. In this case, what we're doing, drawing a bit of blood, it shows that you're inside the vein. You can pull the syringe back a little to just get a little bit of blood. Just wanted a little bit because it was just for practice. Before you remove the needle, remove the tourniquet first, because remember that the tourniquet is increasing the pressure. So if you remove the needle first, excess blood might be coming out of the vein and be pulling outside of the vein, and that is what a hematoma is. So remove the tourniquet first to decrease the risk of having a hematoma. So see, we remove the tourniquet first, and after you remove the needle, make sure that it's facing down, and then you carefully make sure the needle is facing down and carefully cover it back and dispose it.